Hi everyone, Brooke Reilly sitting here with Max Mallinen, Vice President for Student Government Association candidate. Max, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So my first question for you, Max, is what made you decide to run for this role?
Yeah, so, I've been involved with student government for a while now. I ran my sophomore year initially. I was a sophomore class senator. And then last semester, I was junior vice president. And this semester, I've been junior president. And just the more I got involved in SGA, the more I realized how much good we can actually do. And I'm really excited to be taking on or attempting to take on this role as vice president in order to do as much good as I possibly can.
Can you elaborate on some of the things that you've done during your time on SGA that makes you prepared for this role?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say the biggest thing I've been working on over the last year about is I've been writing a proposal for club sports to get access to varsity field and ice. This has been something that's both close to me as I'm a club sports athlete myself with club rugby, but something that I've heard a lot from students, not only within club sports, but outside of club sports, wanting to attend more games, wanting to see more of our club sports program in its initial year. Outside of that, though, I've worked on various things from updating recycling programs on campus to working to get electronic vehicle charging stations on campus, and various other things such as that.
And obviously the role of the vice president is to kind of oversee all initiatives going on throughout Student Government Association. How do you plan to do this and kind of keep them in track and everything and keep students engaged as well and convince them to continue working at things?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's one of the incredible things about the role is you get to oversee all the amazing initiatives that student government is always working on. So one thing that I would initially change from how we've done it in years past is when we are working on initiatives, we don't necessarily communicate those initiatives until they've been completed to the student body. So from my perspective, at least, we're always working on amazing things, but that isn't communicated well to the student body. So I'd love to communicate what we're working on while it's in progress, not just when it's completed.
And given the current situation, obviously we're not on campus anymore and students are working from home and everything's going virtual. If elected to this position, how do you plan to start this role over the summer virtually? And then potentially if this goes into the fall, what would you do?
Yeah, so I think one of the main concerns students have right now is just the consistency between classes. Some professors are doing completely recorded lectures. You're never really seeing them on Zoom. You're just watching those and turning in homework, while other professors are super lenient and you see them on Zoom at your normal class time and you have way less work. So I think initially the first thing we need to do, if this does progress into the fall, is create a set of guidelines for teachers so we have consistency across classes, as well as train professors in Zoom and how to interact with students, especially those professors who may be a little older and less technologically savvy. So if it does progress into the fall, that would be my first step, is talking to administration and all that. But that said, I mean, even over the summer, while we still don't know if it will progress into the fall or not, we can absolutely be working with administration and helping to set up initiatives that we can immediately complete when we are finally back on campus.
And what are some of your goals if elected to this position?
Yeah, so like I mentioned with, communicating better with the student body, even when those initiatives aren't fully completed. Outside of that, though, I think one of my main goals is, while President Olian's 5-year plan is amazing and a bunch of incredible things are on their way and being planned, I think we need to make sure we're still focusing on the students of today, not those potential students, as much as we are right now. So I think it's important to always have a focus on the initiatives that are impacting our students today and what their concerns are.
And my last question for you, Max, is what makes you the best candidate for the role of vice president?
So I believe I'm the best candidate for the role of vice president because of the 3 main values I've been campaigning on. Those are tenacity, experience, and ambition. Tenacity is my unwillingness to give up on the issues that matter to students, even if administration is not receptive to those ideas, because it's ultimately the students who this is impacting. It's the students who administration is working for, and it's their concerns which we should be fighting for, no matter how hard the fight is. Experience, based off my previous roles in SGA and my time in SGA learning the role, as well as my outside roles being former president of the Eta Sigma chapter, Beta Theta Pi, as well as the current vice president for programming for them, and my time in club sports, learning that. And then finally, ambition. Like I mentioned with the 5-year plan, I think it's important we focus on today's students rather than the potential student down the line, as we may have been doing over the last couple of years. But it's my ambition to fight for those students, to make sure we're pushing initiatives and doing as much work as we can, because we are elected to these positions, and it's our duty to fight for those students and their concerns.
Thank you so much for joining me, Max, and be sure to stay up to date with all of the candidates on our website at q30tv.com/SGA 2020 elections, and be sure to follow us on social media at Q30 News.